Hey guys, it's Z here back with another tutorial. I hope you all are doing great. So as you saw in the preview, today we are going to make these rotation in CapCut. They are quite easy to make, but you have to use custom graphs in it. But don't worry, I'll explain them for you. So let's start. So open your CapCut and set your clips according to the beat. After that, select the clips one by one and compound clip them by pressing Alt and G key separately. After that, right click on them and pre-process them. Change the ratio to 3:4. Wait for them to be pre-processed. After that, zoom in like they should fit the screen. And now we'll start adding the keyframes. So go to your first clip, add and scale X and Y and rotate keyframe there. Now zoom in a bit, then rotate it to -22. Now move it a bit up. Now go to the ending of the clip, add all of the keyframes there. Now go a little bit right from the middle of the clip, add all of the keyframes there and make him back to normal, like zoom out and change X and Y and rotate back to 0. Now go back to the ending of the clip and change the rotate from minus to plus. Now go to your next clip and then add and scale X and Y and rotate keyframe at the starting and also at the end. Then go a bit right from the middle of this clip and zoom in there. Then rotate it to +16. Now move the clip a bit to the bottom and a bit to the left, just like me. Check them once or twice if they are looking exactly like me or like you haven't done anything correct. So adjust it, then move on to the third clip, add a scale X and Y and rotate keyframe at the starting, then zoom in. Now rotate it and change the value of rotate to 27, then move it a bit to the top right. Now go at the ending and add all of the keyframes there. Then go to the middle of the clip and then change everything back to normal, like zoom out and change X and Y and rotate to 0. Then go at the ending and change the rotate to -27. Now check the clips again if they are looking like they are in a flow. Then go to your fourth clip, add a scale X and Y and rotate keyframe at the starting. Then go at the end. Now zoom in there. Then rotate it to -17 or 18. Then move it a bit down and a little bit to the right. And you're done with the keyframes. Now all you need to do is add the graphs. So as I said before, you guys are gonna use custom graphs here. So don't worry, I'll explain them for you, but I'll only explain the graphs that I use here because I cannot explain the whole graphs. I'll make a separate video on that. So let's start. So click on your first clip and open keyframe animations. Now select the first keyframe inside this box and click on this third graph option there. This will add the graph line. Now what you're gonna do is move a bit forward from the starting of this clip and click on this line and move it a bit down just like me. Just do the same things that I'm doing here. Then select the second keyframe. Now add the graph line again. Now if you move it up and down, you can see it's changing the value of scale. So all you need to do after putting this graph on is just move it a little bit up, like the scale's value should increase like 2% or 3%. So that's how we make the scale graph. Now next for the X and Y, what you need to do is just click on the middle keyframe and then just give it the third graph line and then you'll be done with them. Do this for both X and Y. Then for the rotate, what you need to do is just do the exact same thing as you did with the scale graph, but for the second keyframe, add this second one graph, then just move it a little bit down, just like I'm doing it. You have to do the same for the other clips too. Just do the same graph. Now, if you see in the second clip, it zooms in. So for that, what you need to do is when you put the graph line on the second keyframe, just move it a little bit down. Same for the rotate keyframe too, and also same for the X and Y, just like you did in the first clip. But that's only for the second and third clip. Now for the fourth clip, just do the exact same thing for the first keyframe. Then for the second one, just add the graph line and move it a bit up just like me. So it will zoom out in the end. Then for X and Y, just do the same. Just click on the second one keyframe and then just give it the graph. Then for the rotate, just do the same again for the first keyframe. And for the second keyframe, just add the graph and move it a bit down just like me. So by doing this, what it will do is a bit zoom in the starting, then a little bit zoom out and rotate back in the end. And you're done with the graph. Now you're gonna add a transition. For that, add an effect called diamond zoom. Now make its length between the second keyframe of the first clip and second keyframe of the second clip. You guys know what I mean. You can just see it and do the same as me. Now next for the adjustment, just make its strength 0, size 0 and speed 100. Then go at the starting of this effect. Then add keyframe to strength and size. Then go where the next clip start, make them both 100. Then go at the end, then make them go back to 0. Now split it right there and then add graph to the first one. Just do the same as me. Just select the first keyframe, then give it this graph, do the same for the size 2. And now for the other one, just open the keyframe animation, then add the graph line to the first one, then go 3 frames forward and drag it back there. Then select the second keyframe, add a graph line, and then drag it just like me. Do the same for the size 2. Then what you're gonna do, if it doesn't work on the first effect, then make its speed back to 0. It sometimes glitches, so just make it back to 0. But if it's working, then you're good. Now add a white picture, then make it as the same size of the effect. Then make sure it fits the whole screen. Then mask it, click on circle, then just do exactly like me and feather it a bit. Go to basics, change its blend mode to overlay, then change its occupancy to 70. Then go at the starting, give it a keyframe, make it 0. Then in the middle, keep it 70. Then at the end, again back to 0. Now just give them the same graphs as you did to the effects. Now copy paste these effects according to the second keyframe of the next clip, and then you'll be done with the transition. Now select the clips and then press Shift and X. It will select the clips only. Now just export it in 4K and 60 FPS in high bitrate, then import it back again, extract the audio. Now you're gonna add motion blur to it. Select your clip, go down a bit and select motion blur, then make its blend 0 and blur between 30 to 45. Now wait for it to be applied, and after it's applied, what you're gonna do next is split the video on the beats. Now we're gonna add some inbuilt transitions. So just go to transition, then add pull in between first and second clip, then pull out between second and third. Then for the last one, add pull in again. And there you have it. You have made this roto in CapCut. I hope you guys understood what I mean in this tutorial. So see you guys next time in another video. Till then, bye bye.